Welcome, everybody. This is Skip the Formalities. I am your host, John J. And we have our great panel today. We got Mr. Josh and we got Brittany out there enjoying a good air. So our topic today is one that is fueling the rage of America today because it is telling us that we have no control over ourselves. We're going to talk about the vaccine mandate. And that is one of the biggest topics that is happening in America today. Do you have control of your body? Does the government have right? Now, we already know that the abortion, they control women's bodies and tell them, hey, what they can and can't do with it. They tell them when they can have an abortion, where they can't have an abortion. They probably gonna start telling them when you can and cannot have the baby and where you can and cannot have the baby. So now we're talking about our own health. Are we prone to be subject to being stuck with needles just because the government says so? Is it for our real protection? Do we even know what's really inside of that fluid of the needle? That is not great. I should be able to dictate what I want to put in my body. I don't get the flu every goddamn year, but not all of a sudden I got to get the COVID-19 virus vaccination all up in my body. I don't agree with it, but I'm going to give it over to the panel. Panel, please tell me what you feel about this, because this vaccine mandate, to me, is pretty much a joke. People have lost their jobs. Lives have been separated. What do you think? And I'm gonna have this drink. I don't know if I can do it on camera, but I am.
Well, last night I actually found out something. Can't tell you who I found out from on air, but I went to a hospital to visit a family member of mine.
Okay. They don't have COVID, do they?
Well, here's the thing. I go to the hospital to visit a family member of mine. No, they don't have COVID. He works there. Okay. He's a doctor.
Okay.
I hadn't seen him in a few months, and he hit me up, and I was in the area. I didn't know. Now, Mr. Roberts told us, a fellow member on our podcast told us that he knew this. I didn't know that the people from, excuse me.
That was super.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Keep your silly ass at home. Anyway, I didn't know that. Hey, Mr. Roberts, how you doing, man? So Mr. Roberts knew this. I didn't know this. I thought that only the doctors receive bonuses and things of that nature for saying somebody had COVID. But that's not the case. From the lowest, when you walk into the hospital and the person, again, I forgot what that person is called, that initially sees you, the medical records person, when the person that asks you, hey, what's wrong with you? And you might tell this person, hey, what's that person called?
The receptionist or the person that checks.
From the receptionist all the way up to the top doctor, get bonuses for saying you got COVID. I did not know that. I thought it was just the doctors. So basically, when a receptionist puts on a piece of paper, yeah, COVID, she gets a bonus, or he or she gets a bonus. When the person comes in, the little nurse that comes in and takes your blood pressure and all that, when they put on your paper, COVID, they get a bonus.
But she's fun. It's coming on. But
I didn't know all these people got bonuses. I didn't know that. I thought it was just. I thought it was just the doctors. So in knowing that, I asked these particular group of doctors last night, and nurses and receptionists, how accurate are you in this? They say they're not accurate at all because they get bonuses. So they're not going to be accurate. They don't care. They say they don't care if you come in with a splinter in your finger. They're going to put COVID in that computer because they get a bonus. I find that very interesting. Now, Mr. Roberts said he knew that. I didn't know that. I thought it was just the doctors. But it also brings the question, Jay, if you're getting bonuses for this, why are nurses and doctors quitting? Because they don't want to get the vaccine. Why is that?
It's a good question.
You see where I'm going? What's this really about? That's it.
Maybe they stop the bonuses and they figure they can get more unemployment. No, I don't know.
I heard unemployment was almost over with though, like just about over with.
Well, I mean, maybe not for the new people,
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Unemployment is over with, like the extra bonuses stuff that they got. That been over with in like September. And I don't even think the people that would apply now, they would get it. They would just get their standard amount. But yeah, I know they've been gassing up these people's reports and stuff like, oh, you come into the hospital for what? And then like ultimately they say they die from COVID. That's because they get federal funding from like how many ever people they say they die from COVID. Like they get extra money from that. And so I'm like, I don't believe like any of the records that they have going out. Like each Tuesday and Thursday in the state, we get reports of like how COVID is in the state. And like every time you see like, okay, it's 70 people that died from COVID, but it's an asterisk next to it. And it said from medical record review, like it was 60 people that died from COVID, from just going back in people that died records like earlier in the year. So I don't know. I don't put nothing past like the hospitals and stuff, because yeah, if you get extra money to say somebody died from COVID, why not? Why not? Because there's really no way you can say somebody what other reason they died from. Okay, yeah, hypertension. They could have died from that. They could have died from congestive heart failure, and then next thing on the list would be COVID. So.
I don't know, man.
And see, here's the thing: if they really out here getting bonuses, just piggyback on what Josh said, they out here getting bonuses, but yet they're also quitting and getting fired because they don't want the vaccine. So, for example, just like I had stated earlier, if 400 nurses have got fired for not getting a vaccine, what is really in the vaccine? Now, remember, I had posed this question once before. Are they giving one vaccine to one particular group of people and another vaccine to another particular group of people? Now, doctors and nurses would know the ins and outs and the back doors to all this information, correct? So if they know the ins and outs to all this information, we got nurses saying, oh, it's this and that, the vaccine is whatever. But yet, why are you scared to get the vaccine? You're going to risk your job, regardless of how long you've been there, and just to not get the vaccine when you can't go work at any other hospital without getting the vaccine. So what are you going to do? So now it makes me curious to what have we really injected into our body? Because think about
That's a serious question. Yeah.
Because why, if the vaccine is supposed to help and you are a practitioner nurse, why are you scared of the vaccine, but you want to work around people that have COVID?
Great point.
Did they say it was because of like religious exemptions or because of health conditions? Because those generally are some reasons why people can't get vaccinated.
Well, see, I have a thing about religious exception. If you're a nurse, you're primarily working in a field of science. Science and religion doesn't necessarily mix. So you want to make your money in science, but you still want to hold your religious belief. I just don't see where you're actually going with that.
Very true.
Where are you actually going with that? Because you can say, oh, well, I believe that God is going to take care of me. Okay, well, do you get the flu shot? Yes. How is that applicable to God taking care of you? Because there are some religious enthusiasts that do not take no natural, man-made, natural anything. Nothing.
Very true.
So if there is a religious exception, I want to know how devoted are you to this religion? What's the depths?
Well, that would be kind of like you saying like my religion is a whole sham, because what if I don't pray or worship or whatever it is my religion? What if I don't do it to a certain extent, but you know, or go to mass or go to whatever, go to any type of service? What if I don't do that to a certain extent, but it's still my belief? You can't put like any constraints like, okay, but you got to go to church or wherever 5 times or how many ever times a year, and then you won't be able to get it.
So
like,
but Brittany, look at it like this. So if I walk in there with a hijab on and say I'm Muslim, my belief is not to inject anything into my body. They just supposed to just go with it?
I mean, you're supposed to, because you can't really question nobody's ideology. You're not supposed to, but they're doing that now. Like, okay, I don't believe your religion or, you know, whatever you practice is legit. You still need to get this shit. They don't get no fucks.
So now it's gonna be down to like religious cards? Like,
or you got to come with the dressings. You got to come with the hijab. You got to come with whatever else, you know, type of stuff you wear where you don't get it. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's like hard to really put anything on it, like as far as religion. You just got to go by somebody's word. Like, okay, this is what I practice, and according to this, we don't believe in this. So, you know, it's like the same thing as people who don't believe in blood transfusions or getting anything from an animal or whatever, any type of organs or whatever from or blood from anything. Some people they'll be dying on their deathbed and won't even get a blood transfusion because they don't believe in it, or organ donation.
Very true.
That's true.
So what do you think about Andrew Wiggins? Like, how, I wonder what angle he was coming from. I'm pretty sure it was Christian. Pretty sure.
You know what? I was looking at that question a lot differently, because I was going to say the angle he's coming from is more so the reason why I really wish he would have stood his ground, but he would have lost too much. He would have lost too much money doing that, especially if they would have played a lot of their games in California and New York because they have the state mandate there.
Shit. Yeah, he would have lost a lot of money.
He would have lost a lot of money. Because they were saying he could only play away games, but not home games. So majority of their home games are in California, but then they got a few more games. They got a lot of matchups with New York. That's in New York. I mean, that's gonna be heavy.
It's a lot of money.
Well, that's how they bring this into play. When you start factoring in your how you pay your bills, how you keep your lights and gas on versus getting the shot. You know, I'm telling you, that's playing a bigger factor than people are actually realizing, especially people in hospitals, government jobs, or any place where they got the mandate and they following it. You don't really have no choice, so you need to find another job.
Now let's be honest, group. Let's be honest. We knew this was gonna come. We called this.
Yeah.
You know, we called this in the last, but we said that they was gonna make it mandatory for people to get this vaccine, and this started at the federal level. It's going to migrate down. It's going to migrate down. The problem here is that now it's going to be okay. Well, if remember how segregation was. Okay, you can't eat in our restaurant. It's gonna be like that. Oh, you're not vaccinated, you eat outside.
Yep.
You're not vaccinated, you can't come in, and we'll hand you your food at the door. Oh, hell, you'll get it at the back door. I mean, come on, think about we're about to go to another realm of segregation because of a vaccination.
And even so with the cards, like, you know, how, I don't know if it was they had did with Jews or whatever, how you had to have certain cards. They gonna do They're gonna do it like that.
Well, but like I said, the face of it is going to be black men. Period. That's going to be the face of it. We're going to be the enemies of the vaccine. There are so many soccer players out there, white soccer players, professional soccer players, so many baseball players, white baseball players. They're like, no, we ain't getting that vaccine. Nope. They say nothing about them. They're going to focus on the NFL and NBA. We're going to become the face of it. I'm telling you. We're going to become the face.
I believe it. And I bet you all the other leagues that they're talking about the vaccine, it's not even going to be a mandatory for them. It's not even going to be mandatory for them. Like, it's not going to come down as hard on them as it does the NFL and the NBA at all. And that's going to be the craziest thing right there. Because, oh, Josh, you're on mute. I don't think you heard me. You're on mute again.
Oh my God. Okay. If you don't, I tell you all the time, if you don't believe that, why do you not see, when it comes to agendas, I tell people all the time, why do you not see white boys in the NFL and NBA wearing skirts to practice and to games? Why do you not see that?
You said why we don't see them wearing what?
You don't see white boys wearing skirts and mini skirts and dresses to games.
Because they're not about that fashion life.
Are you talking about Russell Westbrook? How he always be dressing?
Oh God, not just Russell Westbrook. There are several black men who wear skirts and dresses and high heels to basketball games. But you don't see white boys doing it. It's like, why do you not see that? And it's going to be the same with this vaccine. You're going to see them focusing on black men when it comes to this vaccine. They don't want to get it. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. You even see other black men like Chris Rock and Shaquille O'Neal criticizing other black men for it. But they're not saying nothing about these white boys that ain't getting it.
It's because black people are always put against each other, even from slavery days. Like, you know, you got the house niggas and the field niggas. You got the big niggas and the small niggas. It's like, y'all always been at odds with each other. Well, we've always been at odds with each other.
Gronkowski said he ain't getting shit. And meant it. Gronkowski said he ain't getting no vaccine. They ain't said nothing to him. You don't even hear about it. In fact, they be lying about it. You don't even hear about it. You know what I'm talking about, Rob Gronkowski, John?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he ain't getting the motherfucking thing.
And what they gonna do to him?
They ain't gonna do nothing.
See?
They don't even talk about it.
Now, just jumping on to what you were saying, Josh. Why is it that when things are going good, eyes are focused on a white man?
Yep.
But when things are going bad or there's opposition towards a good, as you said, we are the face of it. Why is that? Why is it always a point to break down or show me of derogatory aspects of the Black community, man or woman, but of the Black community?
Because they're dwindling in their numbers. And Bill Gates himself said by the year 2075, this is what Bill Gates is saying.
I thought it was 2050.
What, 2050?
I think it's 2050. The white population is supposed to be the minority.
They dwindling. So they got to do something. They doing everything they can.
I mean, that's why they prefer the Latinos, because they know they about to be the minority. I mean, majority.
Oh yeah, they definitely gonna be the majority because they are, they spread like wildfire.
They deep. Check out California. Who cooking chicken and Popeyes?
And then the other thing is, the other thing with that is, Brittany, is that because it's a lot of immigrants like coming over undocumented, and they're finding jobs and they're staying in those southern states, and then they're just repopulating after that.
You can't get them out of DACA, especially if they go to school or whatever. But you saw how quick they threw them Haitians out.
Hey, y'all don't have, boy, that was deep. That was deep, man.
Texas, come with it. While y'all was coming up on them with them horses.
That was deep.
What was that?
Remember, I'm right here in Texas. Laredo ain't but like a 3-hour drive, John. I heard about that in such detail. It's crazy. I know guys that worked that and was like, man, tragedy. Remember, they got buses, planes, everything to get them Haitians out of here. John, Hispanics come across the border like that all the time. And they don't do that. They don't do that.
You told when they did that mass mass move of all them people, all them Haitians.
Yep.
Yeah, I read about that. That was crazy.
It was bananas, man.
That was
How many
crazy.
of them was it?
It was a lot, Jewel. It was
like I think it was like in 1,000, like the hundreds, like
it was
thousands.
more than that. It was more than that. But Yule, remember Yule, when I talked to you about this, John, and Brittany, I want you to think about this. Do y'all know where Haiti is?
It's close to Florida.
Why not just go through Florida?
I don't know how they got here to Texas in the first place.
They went around. They went around through South America. But why not just go through Florida? Why not just try to get through Florida?
Because it's harder.
It's only 75 to 100 miles off the coast.
Is it harder to get into Florida than it is Texas?
Yes, and the reason is the Coast Guard has a different mandate. The Coast Guard is military, complete military. And with the cartels in South America and Mexico, you can kind of pay your way around. But if you try the Coast Guard will kill you. Coast Guard will blow up your entire fucking boat or whatever you own trying to come over. That's the difference. If you come through Mexico, like they try to do, John, if you look on the map, check out the map, look online. They had to go from Haiti all the way to Texas. They had to go 1,000 miles all the way around through South America, as opposed to just going across the water in Florida. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Isn't that weird? That's because of the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard has a different mandate than police departments and ICE and DEA and stuff like that. They have a different mandate. If the Coast Guard tell you to turn around and you don't, they'll kill you.
Really?
On the spot, they'll kill you, bro. They'll kill you. Yeah. But if you come through Mexico, some of y'all may be able to get in, some of y'all may not. A lot of Haitians still made it over here. But the thing is, they don't do that with Hispanics. Hispanics do the same thing every month. Most of them get through. Some of them get turned around. But they don't be getting planes and buses to get all of them out of there. They don't do that. They don't do that. And then Hispanics have a hookup underground too. They have an underground thing that Pablo Escobar built for them. A lot of them get through like that. And the government knows it's there, but the cartels are paying them.
That's some large claims right there.
Man.
They did let some Haitians stay. But I don't know how many, probably like maybe 3,000. But they end up deporting the mass of them. But they let everybody from Afghanistan come here too. That was allies.
Well, of course. Biden's in business with them. Of course.
So
get them the vaccine too.
And I'm glad and I was just about to get back to that. So the other thing here is, if you're an undocumented alien, how the hell you gonna get the vaccine?
What you mean?
Like, you got to fill the information out, correct?
Yeah.
And say it's a Haitian or whatever like that. They got to fill the information out or whatever like that. So yeah, the vaccine is free or how the case is like that. So you're gonna go get your information put into a system and go and get the vaccine, knowing that you're not a citizen, you're undocumented. Yeah, you may have an address, but you ain't got no birth certificate, no nothing. Because for my son, I had to show his birth certificate to verify who he was, and we got to show our ID. So if you ain't got no ID, how you getting the vaccination?
Good point, John.
Because when we rolled up, I had to have my ID because I didn't have my son's birth certificate. I had to zoom back, go get his birth certificate to verify his age, then swing back and go from there. So the big question here is, if you're an undocumented alien and you want to get the vaccine, how you getting the vaccine? Especially if it comes down and you need the vaccination to work, you gotta have your vaccination card. And now they're coming out with the booster. So, it started from elders all the way down. So if you're undocumented and it comes to the point of having to get the vaccination, how are you getting the vaccination if you can't verify your age and who you are?
Damn good point.
So if we get hundreds of thousands of immigrants here, we get people that's not getting the COVID vaccine, that's walking around possibly passively with COVID or untraceable with COVID.
Well, damn. That's good, John. That's a lot of food for thought.
Well, a lot of them will probably get, like, wherever they work, or probably make sure they get the vaccine, especially desperate for people as they are. If they're in the medical profession, they'll just make sure they get it through them. You know what I'm saying? They'll just say they got X amount of employees that need this, blah, 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 and just kind of go that way. I don't think they would care, to be honest. I don't think they would care. The more people to get the shot in their mind, the better.
So what exactly is a green card? Is that an identification card or no?
I thought the green card was.
Oh, go ahead.
I thought the green card was your card to validate your status in the United States.
So that's not like it's not like a form of a visa where you can show like you a resident or of a certain state or anything.
Well, if you got a green card, I don't think you are a resident. I think that's a temporary residency, isn't it?
It is. It doesn't mean that you're a citizen, because you got to get that renewed. And if they decline it, then you get deported.
Yeah.
That's why they get their green card, then try to become citizens, so they won't have to get deported.
Man.
Or they try to marry. If they marry, then then they become a citizen. That's why you ever seen them shows or the movies where they try to marry a person that has citizenship just so they can stay over here? Because that's instead of taking a test, they would just get married, stay here for a year, and then get it annulled. And they pay big bucks for that. I think they found a way. I think the government found a way to stop that, but that was a thing.
It was.
Or have
What you said, Brittany?
a baby.
Yeah. That's the
that I don't think that stops you from getting deported.
It'll stop the kids from getting deported for sure.
Your baby citizen once they already born here. So how they gonna say like, okay, I'm gonna deport the mom or the dad? Like, well, she might deport the dad, but they won't deport
Well,
the
actually,
mom.
they did do that.
They done that.
They did that.
They
Both parents. Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah, ICE went and ripped families apart and deported the parents, and the kids was just like they had a whole article about it. They was all in a camp, and the parents was illegals and the kids wasn't. So they separated the kids, and the kids was just stranded with no parents. Like youngest like 4 or 5 years old. Oh, younger, just there. They didn't know what to do with them. I don't even know if they did anything with them.
Well, I have a theory.
They turned to military brats.
Sex trafficking.
No. This is just a theory.
Body organs.
Yep.
I said either that, the sex trafficking or selling body parts.
Yep. Like I told people.
A lot of missing kids out here.
If you weren't there in Katrina like I was, and I saw firsthand how they get down. I saw firsthand how FEMA took kids away from parents for no reason, and them kids just disappeared. And parents went and got lawyers and everything, and nothing ever happened to it. Those kids went into organ trafficking, or they went into sex trafficking. I saw that firsthand. A FEMA ripped kids from parents. So ain't no telling what they doing down there. Ain't no telling.
Okay.
And I tell people all the time, it sounds unbelievable. Keep living. Keep living.
Side note, have y'all saw Squid Game on Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah.
I seen it before it even became popular.
Yeah, me
Really?
too. I'm like, what the hell? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna spoiler alert, but yeah, it's very
you ain't gonna watch it no way.
I don't even know what y'all talking about. What is that?
Exactly.
What's the show?
It's a Korean show on Netflix, and it's about this guy. He's in debt, and this company, he's approached by this guy, and it's like, hey, you know what? We can get you out your debt. You just got to come play this game and stuff with us. So, the guy that was actually trying to get the money from him, he made him sign a contract where, if you don't pay him, he gonna take his organs. So the guy, he plays a game just so he can get rid of his debt.
What's the game?
Childhood games.
Yeah.
Red light, green light.
Yeah, a series of childhood games. I think it's like 7 games, and you have to win each game. It's kind of like a Hunger Games, but like Korean style. But it's minus the Katniss Everdeen and the bow. It's like,
but
it's
they kill you for real. Like if you lose, they kill you for real.
Yeah.
Like you die. It's like damn.
And they was killing them quick too. Like,
because they didn't follow.
But Jay Smooth,
it's only a matter of time before we be watching gladiators flat out killing each other on TV for real. It's only a matter of time.
Coming.
It's only a matter of time.
Who the hell is Ilnam? Who is that old man? Who is he?
Ilnam is he's the one that created the game.
But they don't say that. Like I'm like, why? How? Like
they said it in the end. He said they got to him and his friends got to a point where they got so wealthy and they got bored with all the money that they had. So he said like how he bet on horses. He was like, y'all are our horses. We bet on y'all.
He did say that.
And that was the purpose of Squid Game. That's why all them rich people had came in there and they were betting on who was going, like, oh, I got 10 million on this guy. He's gonna make it to the end.
I was throwing up in my mouth in that little gay scene. I was like, oh, please don't let them go there. Oh, don't do that. Oh,
when he had a detective.
Oh man, that was Why'd they have to do that? They didn't have to do that.
Didn't nothing even happen.
Huh?
Didn't nothing even happen.
No, they showed it though when he took off his little robe. I was like, oh.
And he was like, hey, he was like, if you show me a great time, your whole life will be changed forever. He put his hand on his head. I was like, oh my God.
Hell no. Hell no. Hey, I don't even think I could have played that part. I don't even think I could have. Don't touch me, bro. Like,
look, you gotta have some hell of some money to rape another man. Like, you literally bored. If you get to the point, you bored with women to the point where you like, I'm just about to rape another man.
Ex Terry Crews. He
hey,
experienced.
you. Hey, yeah, hey, you. The dude put his hand. He put his hand on his head and everything. Like, oh yeah. I was like, oh.
When he told him he was like, I want to see your face. He was like, no. He was like, all right, well, I'm gonna take you into the back. We about to go have some fun. I'm like, dog. I'm like, bro. You get like you that he ain't even, to me, he didn't even come off like that, but he was like, yeah. You know, when he said that line, like, I'll make like your whole life would change if you can pretty much rock my world. I was like, nigga.
John, my whole cover would have been blown. I shot his ass right there.
Like the crazy twist was his brother was operating it, and he seen him face to face, two brothers face to face, like good and evil, looking dead at each other. He like, man, come with me and you'll be safe.
I wonder if he died. I wonder if he died. I don't think he
got
died.
shot in the shoulder. He all right.
So it's another season coming.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's another season.
I don't want another season. I'm good with where it started up, where it ended at.
Well,
you good with that?
Man, look, that redhead motherfucker need to say where he at. He should have went to go see his daughter. I'm sorry. You didn't buy down on your daughter too many times. Now you get all this money and you still don't want to go see your daughter. You're going to go try to you want to go try to save 400 people that's in debt. They already desperate. What are you going to do? Give them your money?
He didn't even spend. It's just been accruing interest.
But
except for give it to the little boy. And
y'all do see the message in it, right? You do see the message in it, right?
Yep.
Money ain't everything.
No. Even beyond that, is rich people control everything, and they'll kill you for it and take your organs.
I was looking at survive at all costs.
And John, I don't think I could kill y'all. I don't think we would. I couldn't kill y'all for money. I couldn't do it. We'd have to die together. I couldn't do it. I'm not gonna kill you for. I wouldn't kill you for $1 billion. I look at you. I think about it, but I couldn't.
Well, here's the game. Well, here's the thing. You know, there were 3 rules. You know, that could end the game, and both of us would have to concede to end the game, but it wouldn't stop there. Because once you go back to reality, just like they did the first time, they went back to reality. They came back because reality. You left 30 million wine. You left about 30 million wine. You left it just there.
Now I have a question. What is wine? Like I was always trying to figure it out because the price.
South Korean money.
Yeah, it's a currency.
But like, what is it? Like, is it $30 million American dollars? What is it?
Oh no, the conversion is like the way they talk about it is probably like a few $100,000 for us.
Yeah, like oh boy, he was only in debt like maybe $1,700, something like that. But the doctor, he was in debt like millions. I forgot how much. He was in debt millions.
Yeah, like a million wine would be like 1,000, like probably like 100,000, like 100,000. I did the conversion. Hold on. I did the conversion already.
Like, yeah, I was trying to figure out how much it was. Like, because what was the big prize? Because it said something like 54 billion or some shit. But I was like, that can't be. You remember the ball?
It was
All
like
the money?
400. It was like 47, like 48, because each person was a million won, and it was 456 of them.
All right,
You-
so a million won is $834, 834 American dollars.
Mhm.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
Sucker shit.
Like when they was talking about 10,000 won, and they were like, and you see they was kind of like tripping over it. They were like, oh man, it's 1,000 won. Like, oh no, they was doing like 10,000 won. That's like $8.35 for us.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
You gotta watch it. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it. Hey y'all, it was nice. I do have to go. I gotta practice. I gotta go.
Well, we was just about to enter into the final word.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got sidetracked a little bit. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Now it's time for the most enduring part of the podcast, the final word. So since Mr. Josh got to go ahead and leave real quick, fast, in a hurry, we're going to go ahead and start off with him.
George Carlin said something, but a lot of people don't listen to George Carlin. But he's one of the greats. He's one of the greats out here. He said what America doesn't want is a group of people who can use critical thinking. It's what America doesn't want. When it comes to the vaccine and all this other stuff that's going on, it's a lot happening out. When it's going to that, if we don't use critical thinking, if we don't step outside the box and look at the bigger picture, if we don't open the door instead of looking through the peephole, we're going to be part of the slaughter. And my only thing for people is use critical thinking, use your head. When it comes to this the vaccine mandates and everything that's going on, there's still nothing wrong with being patient and taking your time. Stop doing stuff because there's pressure. If it's a work issue and you got to do it to get your money, I understand. If it's not, relax, wait, be patient. Just because everybody around you is doing something doesn't mean you have to do it. And just because you don't do it, don't be afraid of being that outcast, because that's what it's going to take sometimes. I don't know where this is going with all the vaccine and stuff, but like I tell people all the time, I personally know that the government is 20, 30 years ahead of us. So everything that they're doing, they're 20, 30 years ahead of us. So when these mandates come down and stuff, just stop, relax, and think. Is this what you should be doing?
Okay. All right.
That's it for me.
All right. Brittany, what you got?
I mean, I'm just gonna say it's unfortunate that some people are losing their jobs because of the mandate and everything, but eventually we knew that this was gonna happen, and I would just say, yeah, regardless of what the government say or whoever, if you don't believe in it, don't do it. If you don't know how it affects your body or anything, just don't do it. Just trust your gut, because people have died even after getting the vaccine, and they still say it's like a 1 in million chance that it would occur. So if you don't feel comfortable, just don't feel, and you don't want to feel pressured in doing it, just don't do it. And there's plenty of jobs out there. You can start your own business and you won't even have to fall under that whole guideline as far as like how it is now. So, or it's the remote jobs out there, any type of things. So you can, it's many options out there that you could do. So just keep your options open and stay safe, my friends.
Mr. Ewell.
Well, they both covered most of the topics that I would have used, but also I keep it nice and sweet. I'll just say, I kind of agree with Josh and Brittany. Just be patient and sit back and watch how things play out. There's a lot of stuff in the mix as far as stuff coming down the pipe, new information as far as the vaccines is concerned. Just be as safe as possible, but also be as informed as possible.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and end this out. Vaccination mandate. I think the government in this instance is not protecting the American people. I think for the last few years, based on our presidency run, that they have slacked on protecting the American people. Things have occurred and happened that have created instability within our nation. And a lot of the painting that was covered up for so long is starting to come to the surface. You know, you have racism and you have other factions that are coming to the surface and displaying those same issues. They have already tried to control where we go with systematic racism. Where can we live? Where can we go to school? Where can we learn? Where can we work? They've already had their certain contributions to that. And they've tried to employ remedies as well, but that's not always, there's always a loophole in that as well. Then you want to tell people or women when they can and cannot abort a child. Okay, now you're controlling life. Now we're at the instance where we are controlling whether I have a constitutional right to a decision over my own body. This has turned into a federal encampment of enslavement. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, just as in a previous podcast, we stated that there was a mandate for this coming down the pipeline. And the mandate has occurred. People have lost their jobs. America has reached over 700,000 deaths in COVID. They're trying to use this, as I always, like I called it, I said, this is to me, this is propaganda. This is propaganda. To put fear in people to go ahead and get this vaccine. And not enough people ran and got it. So now, hey, they didn't run and go get it. Hey, make it mandatory. Make it mandatory at the federal level. Who's gonna follow suit? The state. It's a lot of state employees. Who's gonna follow suit? The city. It's a lot of city employees. The private corporations was already like, look, y'all got to come back to work. COVID or no COVID, y'all coming back to work. We need y'all in the building. You don't go, what happens? You get fired. Oh, well, you know what? There's a federal mandate. You know, hey, we're under federal guidelines that, hey, everybody got to get the vaccine. Come back, go ahead and get the vaccine. Come into work, and if you ain't coming into work, or you ain't showing us that vaccine card, oh, you're fired. Now you got more Americans on unemployment. You already had a lot of Americans on unemployment. Now you got more Americans on unemployment. So then what? What happens to our society? There's been plenty of stores that I have walked into that said they were closing early because they are shorthanded. There's lines hanging all the way out the store because they're shorthanded. Is it because of the vaccine, or is it because unemployment ran out, or is it because they're just not paying enough money, or is it because they got a sweet taste of that middle class life and they don't want to go back to the poor mongering life that they had just came from? Let me tell you, America, Don't be fooled. Now, I'm not going to sit here and talk this bullshit and lie to you. No, I got my vaccination. I have my reasons and I got it. I do. And whatever befalls from it, hey, I will accept the responsibilities. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to accept the responsibilities. But at the same time, I'm going to tell you, it's propaganda that they pushing. It's fear that they are pushing. I did what I had to do to protect my family. But you can't sit in isolation thinking that that's going to protect your family when isolation is not going to get it. You need some type of social life, whether it's with your family, your friends, or just being out and about. The government is going to push us outside. And being inside of our house is no longer going to be a fact. You're going to have to get the vaccination. You're going to have to. People are going to lose their jobs over this. And as soon as this federal mandate becomes a national mandate, it's going to be over. You no longer have control of your body. You no longer have control over your mind. You no longer have control over where you live. You no longer have control over where you learn. You think that because you get into a high prestigious college, that you got there because of your grades. No, you got there because of diversity. I'm sorry to say it. Don't be so proud of your achievements because you got it on a curve. You ever been in school and they graded on the curve just so everybody can get an A? That's what you got. You got a 4.0 all your life. And you got in on the curve. That's where we at. That is where we at. So this is Skip the Formalities. I am your host, John J. We got Brittany, we got Yule. Josh had to bow out early. We'll see you next time. We do this every week, Thursdays, 6 p.m. Check out some of our new content. Check out some of our old content. Some of those go really hard. We'll see you next time. Peace out.